Alright, so welcome to the next episode of Pure Honesty. Today we're talking about everyone's favorite subject, picking a major when it comes to going to college. Why is this everyone's favorite? Because sometimes people don't know how to approach this. I know plenty of people that even go into college not knowing what they want to do, and that can end up in either one of two ways. They either figure out their major while they're going to college, or they spend $50,000 while still being an undeclared major and then eventually drop out because they don't know what to do. So This can be pretty important, and even if some people might know what they want to do with their major, but might not be the best one for them. Some people know themselves well enough to know what field they're passionate about. Some people might pick majors and they only use it because it makes a lot of money. And there are some pros and cons with that, and that's what we're going to discuss. So if you haven't seen any of our previous videos, I'm Taya. I'm a freelance video editor at the moment. Right here I have Eric.
I'm Eric.
Yep, that's what he is. It's definitely his name. And then here we have Doug.
Hello again, and I'm Doug. I'm a designer. Like the previous video, I talk about my major, my job, pretty much my experience. So we're gonna continue with this topic. I feel like this is a very interesting topic to talk about because that's what I feel like a lot of us were pretty much stuck in that spot where we don't know what we're gonna pick when we're going to college, right?
Yeah.
And today that's what we're gonna be talking about because that's what where I had to go through a bunch of experience for me to pick my own major. Okay, so going back to Teo.
Yeah, so one issue I've seen that a lot of students seem to go through in high school is that high schools are really, really pushy on you going to college right out of high school. Like, even to the point where, like, my school quite actually brought in, like, metaphors of literally being life or death if you don't go to college right out of high school. So a lot of kids are really pressured to, like, decide on a major and what they want to do, like, right from the get-go. And if you're from the ages of, like, 14 till 17, you're still pretty young and you're still figuring yourself out. So having to commit to your career decision that's going to stick with you for your lifetime is a very difficult thing to do, especially at that age. Some people are fortunate enough to know exactly what they want to do. Some people might be in the middle ground where they're still testing out things, and some people might not know what to do at all. And that's perfectly fine. That's entirely normal. And I think it's kind of bullshit that a lot of kids have to make such a huge decision from such an early age. And what sucks even more is that a lot of kids will end up going to universities and will be like, okay, I'm going to have my major be undeclared for now, and then I'll kind of figure out what I want to do as I go on through school. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes people do that. I'm like, oh, okay, I want to be a science major. This works out. Some people spend like $20,000 for 2 years of school, and they're like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. And by your third year, you have to actually commit to a major. And some people will be like, all right, I'm out. This isn't for me. So that's why this discussion can be really important for people when trying to pick out a major. And I think what it comes down to it a lot is it takes a lot of experimentation. Because, of course, at its core, your major comes down to what you enjoy a lot. Some people will pick things just for the money in it. That's something that I would say that you should avoid doing at all costs. Like, I know more people that I can count that went to STEM majors purely because, okay, that's where the money is. Here's the issue with that, though. Specifically for us in California, we're by Silicon Valley and everything, so this is like perfect breeding ground for STEM majors and everything. When it comes to picking your major, do not pick things purely for the money. For example, let's say you're only doing computer science because you're in it for the money. You're like somewhat computer savvy, but you don't really have too much of an interest in it, but hey, if it pays the bills, whatever, right? Here's the issues with that. What it really comes down to is that if you're pitted against someone that's truly dedicated to like something like computer science and they're really into it, you will always lose out against them in a job field. Main reason for that being is that if you're not motivated for your job, if you're not that interested in it, you're gonna put a lot less time into it. Like, let's say if I'm doing computer science just for the money, it's gonna feel kind of like a chore for me. If I don't find myself enjoying it that much, I'm probably not gonna find myself dedicating a lot of my free time to practicing it and practicing my own craft. I'm usually gonna try and get away with doing like the bare minimum for it on like what I need to do for it. And then if I'm comparing my work experience to someone who's really dedicated to it, who really enjoys doing it, they're doing that shit in their free time. They're gonna be way better in that field than you are, and that'll definitely show because they have the drive to put more of their free time into that. And especially in a field with like computer science where your skills matter a lot, if you're going to a Google interview, your skills aren't going to match up to someone who actually legitimately enjoys doing computer science. Like, you can force yourself all you want, you'll never have the same drive as someone who actually enjoys doing it. And especially if you're doing something just for the money, chances are a lot of people are also doing that too. So that's already going to be a lot of competition in there. So not only do you have a lot of competition, you also have a bunch of people that are going to be way better than you from the get-go at your job. So that's usually why I would say to avoid doing something just for the money, because you're going to lose out on that, like almost all the time. You'd have to be really lucky to make it out in something like that.
Okay, let me add something on top of that.
Okay.
So pretty much when you're just trying to decide a major at when you're going to college, overall, I feel like picking something that you're more interested or you like to do, I think that will come out always better than something that you just try and do it for like the money.
Yeah.
Like what you guys said earlier.
It will show. It will show.
Yeah, it will show. It's like you're not gonna have that desire where you want to achieve higher of something that you crave for more. So I like to do design. I like to be creative. I want to do art. I want to do all that. So that's the reason why I went into the design field, right? But in the design field, there's just so many areas, even in the design alone. So there's architecture design, there's landscape design, there's graphic design, there's website design, there's computer design. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the design field, right? But going through all that, it's gonna take you years of experience, right? And that's what I have to go through to see which one I fit in more. I went through architecture, I went through landscape, I went through graphic. It's like what I mentioned in the previous video, and when we were talking about this topic a little bit, pretty much I went through a bunch of major for me to decide which one I want. So if you're undecisive, just test out the water. Just keep going to every single different class for different major and try it and see which one you like. So if you want to like to do art, then go into like any art class. Take one class and see how you feel. If you really love it, then you continue with that major. If you hate it, then just move on to the next major class. If you like business, you go to business. If you like history, you go to history class and see if you like that, right? So if you don't like any of that, maybe you're just homeless or like other people, right? But what I could say is that I have to go through that experience as well. Like, if you look at me now, like, oh, it looks like I know what I want to do. It looks like I'm pretty decisive of what I want to do already. Because I already passed through that phase where I was exploring. I finished exploring already. Now I just want to mainly focus on the stuff that I want to do, which is the design field. And I could pretty much just do any design. I could also do some interior design, some architecture design, right? And I could right now I mainly do website and graphic because that's what I want to focus on. And that's where a lot of my client is from. So that's how they found me too. I've been recommended to other people because I did their project, I did their artwork, and that's what I like to do. And pretty much because of me exploring through the last couple of years and while I was in college, and it pretty much pinpoints to this area right now. Okay, so Eric, if you could talk about your side a little bit, that would be great.
Okay. What was the question again?
Great.
That's the best introduction, man.
Oh no, I remember. Major. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that the whole time. What do you mean?
Well, with a major, I think it's pretty. I wouldn't say it's simple, but if you know what you want, then it becomes simple. Because I was undecided at PCC for a while, but not undecided, but I chose a major that was mildly interesting to me, and I thought that, well, since it was mildly interesting, I might as well just go with that. But what was really the problem was I didn't know what I wanted. I picked it because it was easy. It was like a default choice. But once I took a year off and really thought about it, it became clear that I wanted to do something in the art industry. Now, I didn't know at that point what, but I just know it had to be like a creative job, somewhere that I could sit down and it would hold my attention and I would just focus on it. And really, art was the only thing that did it for me. But like, some people prioritize different things, and it's all about knowing what you want. Because me, I wanted to do something where I would be happy. Maybe not happy, but like it wouldn't kill my soul over time.
Yeah, content.
Yeah. Some people prioritize money, and they don't really mind putting like hours and hours into something they really don't believe in, as long as they get paid. And that's cool too. But you, at the end of the day, you really know what you want to decide a major.
Yeah, I feel like you have to enjoy it for you to do more of it. If you're not enjoying it, it's like kind of like, do I want to continue?
Yeah, but that's your priorities, you know. Some people, like, they don't care about the enjoyment; they just want the money.
Yeah, and usually people take those kinds of jobs just because of like job security. Like, let's say, some people want to be a lawyer, and it's like, do I care about the criminal justice system? No, but I mean, I'll be pretty set with money, because
But how
like,
about if you ask, right?
yeah,
Right.
especially in fields like that.
Yeah, because I know someone that actually graduated as a doctor, got a PhD. They did not end up doing a doctor stuff. They pay hundreds of thousands to get a PhD.
Yeah.
But look, they're not doing it.
Yeah, a major isn't end all be all. I mean, there are plenty of examples of that. Look at what's his name, Ken Jeong, the actor. He graduated from medical school, but now he's an actor. Like,
Yeah.
Found something that he enjoys more.
right? Because so picking a major isn't like you're gonna stick with it your entire life. No, it's just something to get through college shit by.
Yeah, and I feel like getting a degree, it means something, but it doesn't mean the rest of your life that you're gonna be doing that also as well. Right?
A lot of people do what's called the sunken cost fallacy, where like they'll spend a bunch of money on a degree, and they'll be in the mindset where, okay, I put in so much money into this, now I have to follow through with this. So some people kind of fall into that trap.
But that's what I'm like. For me, I feel like I want to do more stuff on the design field. So that's the reason why I may major in the design side. Because picking a major that what you want to do is important to some level. It's not like, that's why it doesn't like it mean like you're gonna do this the rest of your life. Maybe within the next 10 years, I might not even be doing this anymore. I might be doing something else. Maybe I'm engineering something else. Because I'm only doing this because of what I already put in, the amount of time, the amount of effort that I learned, that I need to learn to do design, right? But I feel like I'm more ambitious, and I feel like what I like to do is explore different topics, different area. So I'm also learning how to do like how to be eco-friendly and stuff right now. But that was part of my side job, right? That's something that I do on the side. And I'm also learning how to create pretty much engineering some particle. I'm not going to talk much about it, but I'm pretty much engineering some stuff right now that it could help with the future generation, right?
Mm.
But that was a part of me exploring right now. I'm still exploring,
Mm.
but that was the main point is that deciding a major in college is pretty much is that you have to love it for you to continue to do it for like a while.
Yeah,
right?
there has to be a drive behind it.
Yeah, if you just hate it, just don't bother going to it because I feel like it's more of a waste of time, and you will never even touch that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty much like a good amount of time wasted there.
Yeah, especially if you're in competitive fields, like you're not going to compare to someone who like legitimately cares about their craft. It's
Yeah.
going to be hard to measure up to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some people might even be like might shy away from doing their preferred major because it might be more risky. Like for example, like in high school, I told my family, "Oh yeah, I'm doing computer science," which I was kind of interested at the time, but not really. I only told them that because they were more comfortable with that. Just because like some things, like let's say if you're like an art major or something like that, inherently fields like that can be a little more risky when it comes to like job security, just because that's just the nature like of the industry. So some people might like shy away from that. I would still say to put in thought to that and like try to give it a shot. Don't think of it as like, oh, if I pursue this, I'm never gonna make any money. Like, don't defeat yourself like right then and there. Especially in some like an art major where your talent matters a lot more than, let's say, like your credentials, like a degree. If you keep at it, you will eventually get somewhere. It does take a little bit of luck, but if you have the talent for it, you can't keep yourself up there. So I usually wouldn't say to discourage yourself just because it's an inherently risky field. Like, definitely do recognize the risks of certain fields, like even incredibly like niche fields. Like, let's say, oh, I want to be a game designer, or I want to be in like virtual reality development. Like, that's like a new and growing field. Is it gonna work out? We don't know. But if that's something you enjoy doing, I would say definitely recognize the risks, but I would still say to try it out anyway.
Yeah. Eric, you want to put anything else into this?
Yeah. Yeah, major is more like a jumping off point, really.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something just to. I feel like a major is just something colleges force upon you.
Pretty much, yeah. It makes you have to focus
because you
on
need to
it.
decide on a major, and then you take the classes, and then you need to graduate, and then
Yeah, you have to commit
you're
to
on
it.
your own.
Mhm.
Yeah. Once you get out there, it's like, well,
Mhm.
a lot of people, they find jobs that aren't their majors, and they stick with that.
Mhm.
So it's
Like,
not really set.
because
Yeah.
they were so good at it.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah. So it's not really set in stone what major you choose. It's just knowing what you want in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know one of my friends, they're pretty much like he studied in business or marketing, but he doesn't do marketing.
Mhm.
He has his own business,
Mhm.
and he making a lot of money from just doing that, right? Just from doing his side business.
Mhm.
And right now, pretty much, he just have a degree that's just sitting there, but doesn't do anything right now. Yeah, because his business is like making way more money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's not
So
much
if
room
you
for
work,
it.
yeah, if you work under someone, he wouldn't make that much money at all.
Mhm.
And I know some of my other friends, like they pretty much, like, they got a degree, the same degree as what I have, and they're not even using it at all.
Mhm.
But they have their side business too, so they're doing stuff on their side, the side business, and it's generating way more money,
Mhm.
right? At the end of the day, honestly, is you're gonna be learning through picking major of what you want to do,
Mhm.
but does it make you happy?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then
And-
yeah, that's also like part of your priorities, whether you care about money or happiness.
Yeah.
I-
And the thing is that even my friends, they're making a lot of money on the side business, but I asked them, do they love it? They're all like, no, they get really tired from it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they always try to go back to the design field now. So I'm trying to work with them on the design stuff, but this is something that they want to do. And I talked to them about it, and then they say that they love doing it. So we're gonna be working on something together, right? And that's something like they're very interested, and then they will all go back to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, even though they generate a lot of money from their side business, right? Okay, but anyway, 20 minutes up too.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh man.
okay, but anyway, do you guys have any like advice or any like
Yeah, just
Like-
generally when you're picking your major, give yourself a lot of time to experiment. Like if you feel lost, like that's normal. That's completely fine. Give yourself some time for that, and also recognize the risks of your field once you realize what you really want to do. Sometimes you might have to compromise parts of your job for things that can be a little more profitable. There are instances where certain passions can inherently be very risky, but also think to yourself, okay, this career path I want to go into, it's going to make me really happy, but it's also really risky. Ask yourself, is the enjoyment you're going to get out of it worth the risk? And if you can say yes to that, then that's something you're really passionate about. If you're thinking about, oh, I want to do an art major, but I think it's too risky, and you don't feel that it's worth it, then art's probably not for you at that point. So it's also about risk management and knowing if the risk can be worth it. So definitely always give your passion at least consideration. Don't often shy away from it just because it's too risky to be able to make money off of it. Because if you go on the other extreme and do something that makes a lot of money but you don't get a lot of enjoyment off of that, it's gonna take a toll on your mental health at some point, and that's even granted you get a job in a field that you don't like, which typically doesn't happen that often.
All
Yeah,
right.
I say if you don't know what you want to do in life yet, you don't know what major to choose or to focus on, I say don't even go to college yet. Just get
Yeah.
a job and see if you like that,
Mhm.
and then just jump around, see what you like, explore,
Mhm.
because you don't have to go to college immediately.
Yeah.
Because especially if you don't know what to do, you're just wasting time and money at that point.
Mhm.
Just find some real life application first, like jump around, do a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, and then once you decided what you want to do in life, then go to college, or maybe then pursue a career, and then go to college after.
Yeah, I entirely agree with that.
Yeah, it's all about priorities, what you want.
Mhm.
If you don't know what you want, there's no point going to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money, because when you go into college, you're paying to learn, right?
Mhm.
And that's everything out there. But sometimes you getting paid while you're working
Mhm.
and you're learning. That
Yeah.
might be the best thing for you.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah. So the other side note that I actually want to put in, like my opinion on this,
Mhm.
is that when you trying to pretty much pick anything, like you pick a path for yourself,
Mhm.
I feel like don't be scared of trying.
Mhm.
And I feel like if you're scared of trying, like, oh, should I do it? Should I do it?
Mhm.
Just do it.
Mhm.
Just do it. If you make a mistake, just learn from it.
Yeah.
Okay? And don't fall down. Don't hurt your butt and cry about it. Just step forward about it. Just say, oh, I learned from this, and then that's it. Move on. Okay? And I feel like that's a part, something that a part of life that you have to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even
Oh.
if things don't go well, then if you can learn from it, then you should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So I make so many mistakes. I went through like the previous video I talk about, like I went through like 3-4 different major, and I finally decided of what I want to do.
Mhm.
But that was me exploring, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so this is the same thing. So you pretty much, you guys decide of what you guys want to do, explore. Don't be scared of making a mistake, because that's part of learning. Yeah. Yeah, like doing all this, even doing YouTube video, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of mistakes here and there, but I will learn and we will get improvement overall.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So okay. That's pretty much it. Oh, also, whoever you hang around with, that's who you're gonna become. Just
Yeah.
a side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So yeah, and that's something that I learned over time. So you want to become successful, you hang out with people that are ambitious and they willing to take the risk of learning. And I feel like that was a part of me getting to this point is because the people that I was hanging around with, they all were doing business and they were all exploring.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's where well, I guess that's where I'm coming from
Mm.
because I'm actually learning a lot from them as well.
Mm.
Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much. I guess is that the end. I don't know if there's anything else that
Yeah.
you guys want to add on.
No, I think that's a good place to end it.
Okay, all right then. Adios, amigos, amiga. Okay, peace.